Oh, yes, the Friday night sports show and getting up in the early hours of the morning to watch tennis from Roland Garros. I can't wait for Wimbledon either. And Jace, we're at the business end of the week, or the 2 weeks for the French Open. The women's draw and the men's draw, some interesting stuff. Look, on the women's side of it, I reckon if we just have a look at this young Greek girl in Sakkari's just gone down in 3 sets. She got past Swiatek, and Swiatek is the Polish girl who won it last year, and surprisingly now, we see this Greek girl get through to the semis. She unfortunately has gone down to Krejcikova. Now, I hadn't heard of this girl before.
Great story.
Unseeded. Now, here's the story. She comes from Chechnya. Now, does anybody remember back to when the Chechnyan people were seeking independence from the Russian Federation, and now they have their own government, if you like, and this is a stunning story for that little place in the Balkans, if you like, in the south eastern part of Russia. This is now Chechnya, its own little place, and Krejcikova won over Sakkari 9-7 in the third. The Greek girl Sakkari, first time I think any Greek lady had ever got through that far. Of course, Tsitsipas, who is in the men's side of the draw, is in the semis also, so fantastic for Greek tennis. But what about that? And then this is interesting because Krejcikova is now going to play, this is the girl from Chechnya, who's going to play against a Russian tennis player in the name of Pavlyuchenkova. Pavlyuchenkova, that's not Pavlova.
Pavlyuchenkova?
Yeah, something like that. We'll go with that. She comes from Russia, I think, or Slovenia, is it? No, she's
from Russia.
Yeah, she's from Russia. Yeah, I got the right flag there. She actually beat Zidansek from Slovenia, so it was very much a Balkans, Eastern Europe type final set up there. So
more of a kiss me or I'll cross you kind of. I guess set up there.
I don't want to go there.
No, let's not.
Let's not. Yeah. But Krejcikova, the girl from Chechnya, takes on a Russian who they've actually broken away from politically. What sport's a funny thing, isn't it?
It really is.
But what about Ash Barty, our own?
Life imitating art.
Wouldn't she have liked to have got through with that hammy? I mean, seeing all these seeds go out and seeing that these two players, the 17th seed goes out, Krejcikova unseeded, Pavlyuchenkova, whatever it is, that Russian girl with a very long name. That's the one. You've got that beautifully down.
She was the 31st seed.
She was. She was barely seeded. She was right at the 32 seeds, so she was on the edge of it all. But in the men's draw, let's get to the real business here.
Well, this is what we were hoping for, really, in the men's draw. So if we go back to the quarterfinals, Rafael Nadal had a momentary lapse against Argentinian Schwartzman. He lost the second set. It was a set-all. Nadal did what Nadal does from that point on. So he's safely through to the semi-finals after winning the last set, the fourth set, 6-love, to put an exclamation point on it. Tsitsipas versus Medvedev. We were all looking forward to this game on clay.
Oh, yes.
Had no idea how this was going to play out. Medvedev, as we know, the Australian Open finalist, went down to Tsitsipas 6-3, 7-6, 7-5. So you talk about Greek tennis. He is through to the semi-finals. He will take on Zverev, who had a very easy quarterfinal, 6-4, 6-1, 6-1 against
Davidovich.
Yep, Fokina.
Yes.
Davidovich Fokina.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm just not
6-4, 6-1, 6-1.
Not going to try and repeat that one.
And Novak won too.
He did, and he was my pick. He won in 4, 6-3, 6-2, 6-7, 7-5. So
yeah, Berrettini, the Italian, gave it to him though in the last 2 sets. Novak got out of here. I mean, I know he won the first 2 sets, but he was actually really pressured. Now that is augurs well from him because he's had a tough match. He's going to have an even tougher one in the semis.
Well, he will. So this is what we get. Flowman's tip to win the tournament was Andres Zverev. He takes on Tsitsipas in the semi-final. By the time you listen to the replay on Saturday morning, you will know who has won that match. On Saturday in the early hours, the wee hours, Novak Djokovic, my pick to win the tournament, will take on Rafael Nadal. And here it is. If Novak Djokovic can beat Rafael Nadal and win the tournament, he will finish with more Grand Slams in his career than Nadal and Federer.
Yeah, you picked it. If he gets the French here, we reckon that he's a good chance at Wimbledon to win Wimbledon. I think he's a really good chance. But I'm looking out for Tsitsipas and also Zverev at Wimbledon, and I reckon they might actually test with their big serving games. Both of them are big, tall, strong men. I just reckon they could beat Novak at Wimbledon. Now, the US Open is where Novak has got a mortgage virtually on that and the Australian Open, as we know. I just get a feeling that that's where Novak picks up the final one to draw level, and then the next one to go in front.
I have tipped Djokovic to win the tournament, and I am barracking hard for Rafael Nadal. Let me give you the hot tip.
Go on.
In that semi-final, that is. And in the other semi-final, I really would love to see Tsitsipas get through to the final. Not that I have anything against young Andres Zverev, but just think Tsitsipas brings some X factor that we haven't seen against the likes of Nadal and Djokovic. I think that would be an interesting final.
Oh, it's going to be great. Men's tennis is still really absolutely so exciting.
It's the old guard versus the new guard in the final.
Good stuff too. We're looking forward to it.
It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show. We should probably talk about some footy and some netball at some point. What do you reckon?
I reckon we will. I might have a look at some Colac and District just to let everyone know what's happening down south in Victoria. Hey, also, we're going to catch up with the latest in Golden Rivers. Now, this has been an interesting one with the Sunraysia heading over the border into New South Wales. Some asked the question, would Golden Rivers maybe do something similar? The answer is no. They are not playing this weekend, preferring to wait until the long weekend. More on that, though, on Golden Rivers and netball scores out of Golden Rivers too. Plus, what's happening in New South Wales Riverina and Farrer football.